Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Tia. I'm an intuitive empath, a psychic medium, and a healer. And I've been guided here to YouTube to use my skills to benefit you, to help and support you on your journey. These are the last round of readings that I began earlier this week. So if you've been waiting for this, I apologize for the delay. I'm a single mom with 2 kids, and so I have a day job as well. So I can only do them when time allows. And so I apologize for the delay, but you know, there are no delays. Everything happens exactly when it's supposed to. So I'm going to continue with the theme of this grouping of videos, which is really about mirroring. I started these videos on February 2nd with the 02/02/2020. And I'll talk about that in a second. And even though we are now February 5th, my guides wanted me to continue with this theme because the mirroring is really important, the mirroring concept. So let's talk about that really quickly. So we are divine, limitless, eternal beings having temporary human experiences. We are energies in physical bodies. And that's important to understand so that we can create the realities that we want. We are mirrors for the external world, and everything in the external world is a mirror for us. So when we understand that, what we are in a better position to do is to manifest the reality that you want. So whatever it is that you're experiencing right now in your physical world, that is a reflection of your internal state. So if you don't like what you're seeing, gotta change what's inside. Let's talk about now the numbers 02/02/2020. That's when I started this grouping of videos. First of all, if you haven't really looked into numerology before, I strongly encourage you to do so. Numbers are codes, activations, frequencies, and messages from the multiverse, from the divine. Most of the time in human consciousness, we're pretty unaware of them, but they are really powerful energies. And once you do understand that what they are, you know how to interact with them better, and they can be of more service to you. So check out numerology a little more, and let's talk about the zeros and twos. 0 is a number of creative potential. 0 is a number of manifestation. 0 is divine source energy. And then 2s are numbers of balance and harmony. 2s are about partnership and collaboration, about cooperation. So the 0 and 2 together is about as above, so below. It's about creating heaven on earth, whatever that means for you. It's about manifesting balance and harmony and partnerships in the physical that will create your highest good and greatest joy in your physical reality. So the next thing I want to talk about is the full moon in Leo, which is coming up now at the end of this week on February 8th and 9th, or 9th, sorry, depending on where you are. Full moons are about revealing what has been hidden and what has been suppressed in the subconscious. And then Leo energies are all about your passions, all about your creative energies, all about your creative talents. And so the full moon in Leo is about revealing or bringing to the surface your hidden passions, desires, and talents in a really structured, logical, active, action-oriented kind of way that allows us to really take hold of them in the physical and manifest them. So now that we've clarified the kind of theme for these readings, we're going to jump into it. This reading is for Virgo, and we're going to start by looking at how the mirror is currently working for you. What are your overall energies? What are you experiencing in the physical reality, which is really just a reflection of your internal state? Overall energies for Virgo spirit. The Sun, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. And we're going to check these reversals. I'm feeling a lot more resonance like that. Okay, and I'm hearing upright. So we're going to take them as spirit guides. I'm an intuitive reader. And so I read energies. Tarot for me is just a tool. So if spirit says to take them reverse, I take them that way. If not, then we flip them around. So the Sun, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. So right now, Virgo, you're in a really great place. The Sun is about happiness and joy. It's about new beginnings. It's about abundance. And then the Nine of Pentacles is also about being in your mastery, being strong in yourself. It's a strong, independent energy. It's also very abundant. So in the physical plane, you're very comfortable and secure, I'm hearing. And then the Page of Swords. This is an energy that is about taking action in the physical. This can be about, I'm hearing mental energies. And this particular Page of Swords is not in movement. She's sitting and her sword is at her back. She's ready, but there is some contemplative energy that's taking place here. So you may be in your head about some stuff. We'll get some clarifiers to see what that is. And I'm being told that with this deck, they don't want me to take reversals. They said not necessarily for the reading, but for this particular deck. That's interesting. Okay. Clarify these cards, Spirit. Emotions, integrity, and healing. Okay. So yes, you're balanced in your emotional plate, so you're emotionally balanced, and that's where all this great happy energy is coming from. Let you see the card. So you're balanced emotionally. Integrity, to clarify the Nine of Pentacles. So you're really in your power. You're acting with integrity, with honesty, with clarity, with those people that are around you. I am getting work. A message about work, that you're acting in a very dignified way in all areas of your life, but where this is really coming through is in work, and that in a work setting, and that's really paying off for you. Maybe for some of you, I'm hearing promotion. Maybe there's a new promotion or a raise that you've just gotten or are about to get. So you're conducting yourself with an immense amount of integrity and dignity, and that's really paying off for you. And then we get the healing to clarify the Page of Swords. Yeah, so that mental energy that I was picking up on has to do with healing work that you need to do for yourself. I am getting, and even though you're emotionally balanced, that there may be some things that you are not looking at. So we will look into that right now, because we're going to look at this full moon energy and see what is hidden right now. What is this full moon in Leo going to reveal to you, Virgo, that maybe you've been hiding from or been suppressing or avoiding? What's being hidden from Virgo? So I asked them if I was going to be taking this upright. They said they would guide. So we'll see. 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups, and the Hierophant. Okay, so this is what's going to be revealed for you. So the 4 of Cups is an energy that's about allowing your receiving, allowing your cup to be filled from other places, it not necessarily coming from you. And this was a really strong energy. Like, you're in a really good, happy place. But what may be revealed to you, so I am getting a message that for some of you, something may be revealed that will deplete that cup really quickly. And that you'll be in a place or a position where you'll have to turn to other sources to replenish yourself emotionally, to restabilize. And for others of you, what I'm getting is that there might not necessarily be something that pulls you out, the rug won't be pulled out from under you per se, but that what is going to be revealed is just new connections and partnerships that will kind of feed this positive energy because you're in this really great, the mirror they're pointing out, because you're in this really great high vibe place, you're going to start attracting new people into your physical reality that are vibrating at the same energetic place as you. So new connections, new emotional connections. Yep, the 9 of Cups, a lot of emotional happiness coming through. And then the Hierophant. So this is an energy that is about it can be about partnerships and marriage. And then it's also an energy that's about spirituality, about connections with spirituality in the physical plane. And they're pointing out the key, you know, that being key. So let's get some clarifiers to get more about that. Clarify this for me, Spirit. I am getting that for some of you, the healing always falls in line at my readings. There's always connections with how the cards are being coming out. So for some of you, this healing work may have to do with a past marriage. You've moved on, you're in a good place, but maybe there are aspects of that divorce, of that breakup that you still need to look at, that you've hidden behind a closed door, and that's where they're pointing out the key. So let's get some clarification. That's for some of you though, not all. The Maiden, the 8 of Earth, and Perception. Okay, so yeah, so the first message I'm getting is that for some of you, like the new connections that are going to be coming in now that you're radiating at a different frequency are more youthful energies. They may actually be people who are younger, but they may just be people who are vibrating at such a high place that they stir those youthful energies. It's excitement and adventure. And then for some of you, they might actually be younger than you. You know, maybe you're someone who's in your, hearing middle ages, and you're gonna be really coming into contact with just younger people that are gonna be surprisingly helpful for you. And then again, for others, it's just the energy that surrounds these connections. The Maiden can also be about being cautious. So I am getting that for some of you, there is a need for some caution as you approach these new connections. And then the 8 of Earth to clarify the 9 of Cups. So yeah, like the 8 of Earth is about, being really balanced in the physical plane, being in your power, manifesting abundance in the physical plane. And clarifying the 9 of Cups, that because you will be, again, that mirror. When we are emotionally really strong, really happy, really positive, that is reflected back out into the atmosphere, in the external, and it comes back to you in lots of different ways. And one of the ways that it is coming back to you is in the area of money. And then the Perception card to clarify the Hierophant. So yes, that is a confirmation of that message for some of you that have left a marriage. What is going to be revealed to you are maybe some, I'm getting like past arguments and conflicts that you're going to start seeing in another way. And that will help you to let go of those resentments. That those resentments are this healing card they're pointing me back to, that there's a need to let go of anger and the resentment that you've been holding on to from this past relationship, and that something is going to be revealed that will help you to see those things in a whole new way. And maybe this is it. Everything happens for us and not to us. Everything we experience, even the negative stuff, even the hard stuff, even the painful stuff, is all here to teach us something about ourselves. So if you're thinking about the conflicts from these relationships or this relationship, think about like what was that meant to teach me about me? Because we're the mirror, right? Everything in the external is just a reflection of ourselves. All right, so let's look at what needs to change internally. Let's look at that mirror dynamic and see what needs to change internally in order to manifest what you want in the physical? What needs to change internally? Okay. Small cards. The Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. I am feeling some resonance there. I'm feeling a lot more here. Okay, so for some of you, we're gonna take that in a couple of different parts. All right, so what needs to change internally for you, Virgo? You're the mirror, so you've got to change what's inside to manifest what you want on the external. The Eight of Swords and the Five of Wands. So this is an energy about feeling victimized. So, and in some cases, it's thinking, you know, being in victimhood mentality, I am hearing really strongly. So what needs to shift for you internally is exactly what I was saying before, is understanding that everything happens for a reason. Understanding that if you're experiencing it in the physical reality, it is a reflection of something internal, and you need to look within and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me about myself? So if you're experiencing conflict with other people, see how these swords are coming at, you know, these two things, and these two swords are engaged in conflict. So I am getting the message that for some of you, that you're engaged in conflict with others. I'm being called that this is an issue about speaking your truth, but that maybe you've done so in a really harsh way. Like you've held your own, you're in your power, but maybe you've gone about that in a really, I'm hearing cruel way, or really just inconsiderate kind of way, which is interesting because we have this integrity card that was coming up here, right? But that it's, the message really is like, you know, yes, we all have to speak our authentic truth, but we need to do that with grace and respect for others. And that maybe that's why you're feeling a little persecuted. And, you know, the Five of Wands, yes, again, about conflict. This is the worrisome energy. This is a threatening energy. And we're going to get some clarifiers, but again, it's, what needs to shift for you is how you think about these things. What do you need to learn about yourself from these experiences that you're having? I am getting the message that there may be a blockage in your solar plexus, and so a need to clear that blockage. There are lots of meditations online to help you do that. Just look it up. You know, look on YouTube and look up how to clear and balance my solar plexus, and that will help to clear out the victimhood mentality that may be binding you. And then the Knight of Pentacles. So what needs to change is about how generosity of spirit, I'm hearing. So I am getting, which is so interesting because Virgo is usually such a gentle energy, but for whatever reason, maybe I am hearing work setting for some of you, that maybe in the work setting you've had to be really tooth and nail, you've had to go get them kind of attitude, and that needs to shift. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is a very, it's a gentler energy. It makes progress, but it's about offering in the physical. So maybe offering more kindness, I'm hearing. Let's get some clarifiers. Yeah, being generous with yourself. So you're radiating a really high vibe place, but I am getting that what needs to shift for you is that maybe there are other areas. You know, sometimes we can be rock stars in one area of our life and just like bomb in another area. You know, human beings, consistency isn't always our strong suit. Let's get some clarification for this stuff. What needs to shift internally? Death, rebirth, the Three of Earth, and the Six of Water. All right, I'm going to push this stuff up so we can see these coming in now. All right, so the death and rebirth to clarify the Eight of Swords. So yeah, so with some of these situations, maybe you're engaged in conflict, and what needs to shift and change is just understanding that even relationships have endings. You know, everything has a cycle, and we attract. They're reminding me about where you are. You've gone through a lot of shifting. You're in your power. When we change our vibration, you know, either way, when you go up or when you go down, the mirror, you attract energies that are like that. So maybe now that you're vibrating at a different place, old connections are no longer serving you. That you're not relating to the same people in the same way anymore. Rather than be really angry about that, maybe that's why you're feeling sort of left out in the cold, and feeling attacked by these people. Rather than take that personally, understand that we go through cycles in relationships as well. And sometimes relationships just have to go away. You know, sometimes we have to walk away from them. If they've walked away from you, let them walk. There's a reason for that. Understand that everything comes in to teach, again, the mirror, it teaches something about ourselves. What were you meant to learn from those connections? Keep the learning, let go of the rest, process the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, the anger, whatever, the betrayal, whatever it is that came up with that, and then let them go. And then the Five of Wands, the Three of Earth. So yeah, this is an energy that's about planting seeds, and it's about understanding that you're planting seeds and that something fruitful is coming down the road, but this is at the beginning. You're sowing seeds. There's so much green here. You're planting new seeds as far as connections with other people. And to understand that you may not see the fruits of your labor right away, right? You're changing energetically. You're vibrating in a different place. These other connections are going to fall away, or they already have, or they're starting to. Understand that you're at a new place. Energetically, you're sowing new seeds. The new connections will come in, but there may be a need for patience. Do the work and know that something else is coming down the road. And then the Six of Water to clarify the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, that was a mention about being compassionate, offering compassion. So maybe with these connections that are pointy and sharp lately, you know, what I was saying before, taking the learning, what are you supposed to learn from that? How is it a reflection of you? Not taking things personally. You know, sometimes when we start to vibrate at a really high place, old connections that are not doing their own internal work, they might be put off by that. They might get jealous. They might, you know, all kinds of stuff shifts when we shift and change. And so it's rather than being upset and resentful and angry about those connections starting to shift and change, understanding that it is what is supposed to happen for you, and to offer compassion and unconditional love anyway. Again, the mirror. Despite what's happening in the external, if you proceed from a place of unconditional love and compassion, that is what's going to come back to you. Okay, let's get some final guidance for you. $122. Yeah, so that's a confirmation about you're at the beginning of new cycles and relationships and connections with others. Again, the twos I was talking about at the beginning of the video, twos are about connections, relationships, cooperation. Final guidance, Spirit, for Virgo. The Knight of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Moon. We're going to check these reversals. Yeah, I'm feeling some strong resonance there, so we're going to keep that reverse. Oh, wrong one. All right, I heard upright. All right, so we're going to stick with that, and then I'm going to pull the clarifiers right away. All right, final guidance though. Yeah, so the Knight of Swords is all about... fighting, like sometimes there's a need for us to stand our ground. Sometimes there's a need for us to go into battle with our swords drawn, but this is not the case for you. And I feel like it's really connected to these new connections. So it's put your sword down, understand everything happens for a reason, always for our own growth and evolution. Don't approach it with, words. I'm hearing sharp words. Maybe you've done that in the past. I'm hearing planning, like maybe you've been planning to give them a piece of your mind. And the guidance is that's not necessary. You don't need to do that. Just as we are on our own journey, everyone else is on their own journey, right? And it's up to everyone to do their own work. So there's not a need for you to tell them what they need to be doing. There's a bigger need for you to focus on self and to approach those people with compassion and unconditional love. And then the King of Cups, yep. So King of Cups is all about being in your emotions, being balanced, about being in a place where you feel your feelings. It's connections fall away, it hurts. I know, I've been there. A lot has shifted and changed for me as I've stepped into my pathway. The vast majority of friendships that I once held so dear are gone. And I have new connections coming in. So it's despite the hurt and pain, maintain that high vibe place, because then you'll continue to attract who is meant for you at this stage of your journey. And then the moon, again, about intuitive feeling, your emotions, trusting your intuitive guidance, you trusting your gut. Coming from a place, swords are all about our mental actions, our mental energies. Instead of doing that, coming from a place of emotion, coming from a place of compassion. That is also where our intuition is. So the more that you approach all of these shifts and changes from an emotional place of compassion and love, the better off you're going to be. Chariot, yeah. The Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So yeah, their cycles are closing out. This is a new cycle. The Chariot is about, victory, but it means it comes at the end of the race. So you are at the beginning of a new race, a new cycle in connections, certainly. And the message here is you will be victorious. It's let the race you've just finished, let it be done. Let it be done. Time to move on to the next thing, the new competition, the new challenge. And then the Seven of Pentacles to clarify, the King of Cups. Yeah, so it's that Three of Earth, you have planted seeds. Now it's about waiting, keeping your energy high, maintaining positivity and joy, but being patient. Your fruits of labor will manifest. Things are a lot faster energetically above the 3D. They cut, in order for energies from above to come and below, they have to get denser, and that takes time. So just be patient. And then the King of Swords to clarify the moon. Yeah. So the King of Swords is again an energy that's about conflict and fighting for oneself, defending oneself. But the King of Swords is a balanced energy. The King of Swords knows when to use his sword. And if you notice, he's holding it, but he's not using it. He's sitting in his throne. He's sitting in his power. So it's knowing to keep that sword holstered or at least at bay and work more with your intuitive energies. Oh, I am also getting a message that for some of you, the guidance is now with this full moon in Leo, something will be revealed, and it'll be a new way to master your mental energies, the way, that perspective card, the way that you think about all of these shifts that you're experiencing with connections. Wow, I hope that this was helpful for you, Virgo. Please let me know down in the comments. And if you're interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help me get the channel going. Thank you so much for your visit. There are a lot of options out there. I appreciate your stopping by. Come back again soon. Until then, much light and love to you. Many blessings.